Yeah. So after that, I'm going to move on to Brendan now. I must ask you, Brendan, when were you diagnosed with autism?
It was about when I was about 2 years old, or 1 or 2 years old. So it was pretty early. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you were diagnosed in the early 90s or late 80s around that time, which for autism research was like ancient times. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's strange because I found out that if I was diagnosed today, I probably would have been diagnosed with high functioning autism. But I see myself as Asperger's, and I think it could be either one. But
can I ask a question there? Sure. What's the difference now? Fee or Deb may know, or Doug or yourself, Brendan. What's the difference between Asperger's and, you just said, I could have been diagnosed with Asperger's or just high functioning autism. What's the difference?
I think there's. Sorry.
No, go on, Deb. Yeah, go on.
Go ahead. Say, we sort of go by the American. I forget what it's called, but it's the psychology people who sort of give us all the descriptors of how to assess. And then it filters down from country to country. But basically in 2013, they came up with the autism spectrum to say that it's all on a continuum. So Asperger's is high functioning, as Brendan was going to say, because autism can be non-verbal, it can be, very extreme. Of course, we know, and very high functioning. So in 2013, they put out that we were all under one banner. Autism spectrum. But before that, you had a classic autism and you had Asperger's, which was sort of seen as something different. But now they put it all together. But like Brendan said, I think we all, if we're high functioning, we prefer Asperger's because it doesn't have the same stigma that autism has. If you say autism, you instantly think of someone who doesn't care about anything, who, won't look at you when you talk. It's a very old way of thinking about what autism is. And, of course, now we know it's not that.
Well, and Deb, while we're there with you, and then we'll go back quickly to Fee and then back to you, Brendan. How is you've only got a Taylah that's dealing with autism, correct, Deb?
Yes. I've got. What happened is we had Taylah. She was born in 2002, and she had a lot of medical issues, and they diagnosed her with Turner syndrome, and then they said there's something else going on. And then 9 years later, they diagnosed her with something called functional disomy partial X, and they said that's where the intellectual disability is coming from, and that's really rare. It's just a little bit of extra X material that's operating. So Turner syndrome is very genetic based. And then in 2017, because Taylah was having a lot of anxiety, we took her to the psychologist who'd been, deals with girls with Turner syndrome, and she said, Taylor's on the spectrum. And so I think we all just went, what? No, that can't be right. But then all those little things fell into place, a bit like what Fee said, it was a bit like there was always something happening, a little bit of behavioural stuff, a little bit of obsessive compulsive, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, because if I like love something, like I love it. I like, say for example, one of my shows that I love, Once Upon a Time. I basically kind of like know like every episode of like my favorite bit in the episode. Like I can be like, oh well, my favorite actor Lana Priya, she played blah 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 blah, and she's like, 42, and like I really go like in deep with like
when shows. We sort of realised when Taylah was young, she got into dinosaurs, which is a classic, like trains. There's lots of classic things but this girl who couldn't spell an average word could spell paleontology because she was that into it. And it was like, what? You can't tell me what 4 + 4 equals, but you can spell paleontologist. And she could tell every actor who they're married to, what their children's names are. It's like, what? How can you do that? And you can't, make a piece of toast. So it's a very interesting
memory based
learning. Your memory, your frontal lobe. It is incredible.
It's like it's like the thing that I kind of like know is I only I only do that with stuff that I like care about. Like if it's like a really good show, then I'll really like into it. But if it's like maths or something, I'll just like turn off and be like, huh? What? And it would just be like, like boring to me.
Yeah.
So,
well, the thing too is with Taylah, like, not that I'm sure some people who've viewed Relentless and Unstoppable will see that we created a project called Spark, and it's for people with, we call people with, not disabilities, but abilities to share their creative talents, etc. And Deb's part of the team, and Doug is part of the team. And Fee, you're more than welcome to join on. We'll send you all the information and have a look at it, because it's a place where we want people to share. And it's amazing because Taylah did all our graphics and Doug did the website and created the other pages. And like, they've never done things like this before. And they need tweaking, and yes, they need, fixing up a little bit, but that's just part of any creation. It's never perfect, at the start. So, and we are sort of very pushed for time, but I would like to ask, before I head back to Brenton, what are your boys, what are their, like, their talents? Like, what are things that you see that, like, oh wow, they really all have different things they love, their passion?
Okay, so my son, the middle guy, River, he has not ever asked for a present or anything because he was non-verbal from Santa, but this last 2 years ago he kept on saying Vegas Pro, Sony Vegas Pro, and I was like, what is that? So I Googled it, and it's a video editing program. It's like super stupidly expensive because it's like, okay, you know it. Okay, so he's 7. Okay, so I was like, do I spend this money? But he's never asked for something. So Santa bought it for him, and he got onto YouTube, got onto the PC, and he taught himself how to edit videos like a professional.
Wow.
And that's you too, isn't it?
Sorry to interrupt, but that's basically me. Like I'm like, if anyone said I'm like the most creative, like kind of like person in like my family, because like I basically do anything. Like I love singing, I love dancing, I love like drawing, even though I'm not good at it. I love it. I love writing.
Hey, good on you.
Like,
that's awesome. And I was just going to say that's how she met Andy McPhee, was because Taylah actually did a project at school. She was coming home with colouring in at year 10, and I said this is ridiculous. And I love you need to do something. And I heard about Focus on Ability, which is an international film festival, and so I said I want them to do as a project. So her multimedia teacher got involved. She spent the 2 years, and she actually won. And part of her prize was getting a mentorship with Andy McPhee, but it was.
And we've still done it.
No, we've done a lot. We've done a lot besides.
I know we've done everything but that.
We've created a whole Spark experience.
I know. Hey, listen, I got to move on, but yeah, that's so funny. But I think we've gained more out of what we've done than the mentorship, actually.
That's awesome.
But yeah, now, Fee, what about the other 2 boys? What are their talents?
Okay, my older guy, Bodhi, he's like all into inventing stuff. Like he's got a really super creative mind. So math and science is his jam, and inventing stuff. So wow. I just launched some merchandise for my YouTube channel, and he's now making the T-shirts for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
And things like that. And then, but he also likes building Legos, but he wants to build a real version of them. So, and he wants to like save homeless people and kind of thing. Like he's got a really big heart.
Right.
so he wants to make inventions. So that's him.
Oh,
and my little
fantastic.
guy is just an animal lover, and he likes Nintendo. Like, he's obsessed with Nintendo. But he's really creative as well. So it's really interesting. I want to see what my 5-year-old develops into. But the other guys are definitely like science and math, and River is all about video editing. So it's
isn't it funny, because like those kids will be definitely value on the Spark platform. And it's sort of funny when you're sharing, then you said, the middle boy is very scientific, and we launched. I thought, what, you're going to say he's launched a rocket? Like I said. And then you go, and then the other one, well, he's an animal. And because my mind straight away goes to, he's an animal. He's the aggressive one in the family that's rah. Oh, no, he's an animal.
That's so funny. Sorry. He is. He's 5 years old, and he's the most aggressive little kick in the shins kind of guy.
I love it.
He's got executive dysfunction as well as autism.
Wow.
So he's very quick for emotion, very sad when he's sad, and very angry when he's angry. So
he'll make a great actor. He'll make a great actor.
He is.
Sorry to cut in, but we forgot to mention that Brendan is a team leader of Spark as well.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting to Brendan now. Hey, Doug, can you do me a favor and quickly message Jerry and the other people who are on the next anti-bullying relentless call? Tell them we're going to be 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did before.
That's why you're a team leader, mate.
That's why he's there.
Yep, Walter was talking, yep.
Hey, Brenton, now about you, mate. I've been working with you for quite a few years now, just same as Doug, mentoring and not really telling you what to do. We're just mentoring and talking about life and giving you suggestions. And you've really transformed from the time I first met you. You're so more outgoing. Your shyness doesn't even come through anymore. And you're also, you teach people guitar, and you're also working with horses. Can you give us a bit of a brief rundown? Because we will do this again. This is not the last interview we're going to do with you guys. So, Brendan, away you go, mate. Let us know a bit about you.
Okay. So, I've grown up, liked, I had a passion for cars and, all that sort of stuff. And when, I got a lot of anxiety and all that growing up through my life. And then I found out about horse therapy. So I went to horse therapy and found out I really liked it. And I really wanted to help animals out as well. So, then I found out about the rescuing brumbies and all that was close to me. Then I went and did that, and I help out there twice a week, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. So
you're growing a bit of a mane yourself there, mate.
Yeah, a bit of a bush ranger now. So
I think because you've been in the bush, he's been in the bush so long. He's next thing. I haven't spoken to you for probably a couple of months, and you had short hair last time I spoke to you. Next time you'll have a beard, mate, and you'll have look like Ned Kelly.
Watch out, I might do it. So
yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, you'll do it just to shock you.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Your hair, Brendan, it withstands all weather.
It could go well here. It could go. I could put some here.
Share it.
Yeah, I'll cut some of it off. Yeah. And
thanks, mate. Trouble is, I don't know if red hair would go with my, complex. Hey, listen, guys, we got to go. But we're going to continue this because we've got an insight to everybody's journey. And I know there's way more to share on here, way more, which will be very inspiring for people, who've suddenly discovered that, like my other friend, I want to bring her on, who's just found out her son at 22 has been diagnosed. So it'll be great to have her involved, and she lives in Seattle. So, let's do that. And I really appreciate every single one of you making time to come on, and share your stories. And I really feel there's way, way more we've got to get out of this for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for letting us share our stories with you.
Thank you.
Now that the listening to Fee real quick.
Oh, I was just going to say to Fee that the International Film Festival that Taylah was on. It's a short film festival. It's just about abilities, and maybe your son might be interested in it.
Yeah.
Focus on abilities.
For sure.
And it's
let me know the details.
Yeah, it's on the Spark website. They're one of our people.
Yeah, we'll send all that to you, Fee, for sure.
It finishes in July, so you've got enough time to still put something together. You could even do it about your 3 sons. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, it would be well worth sharing the story anyway on that platform.
And showing like your son's creativity, and like that's why like I loved it, because like I got to like show what I was capable of. People loved it, so
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see what happens out of this. You know, it'd be terrific. Okay, Doug, take us out, mate, and we'll head to the next one.
Yep. I want to thank everybody for appearing on the panel. Happy Autism Awareness Month. We all love you guys, and we'll see you next time on Being Relentless and Unstoppable.
Yay!